Hi guys, it's Mrs. Liles, and we are going to start learning about how to multiply two-digit numbers times one-digit numbers. So this is a little bit new. You need to know your multiplication facts. If you don't have those memorized, you might want to get it like a multiplication table out to help you with those. Parents, we're going to learn a couple different ways to find multiplying two digits times one digit. So this first method is called the area model. Sometimes it's called the box method. And this is a little bit new probably for parents. The kids need to know a couple different ways to solve. And so this one is one that will help them this year and next year and on as they even go into algebra. So I'm going to start sharing my screen with some examples. Kids, you might grab a pencil and a paper. Feel free to pause and rewind the video at any time. That's what makes doing this by video great. If you need to stop and hear it again, just hit pause or rewind a little bit and you can hear it again. We're going to work through some examples together. All right, I'm going to share my screen. All right. Now you can see what I'm writing. So the first problem we're going to work is 16 times 3. Now a couple of reminder things about multiplying. The two numbers that we are multiplying, those are called factors. So 16 is a factor, 3 is a factor, okay? But the answer, when we talk about multiplying, is called the product. So when I talk about the word the product, I'm talking about the answer, okay? Now, when we talk about area model, it's important that we remember, we've covered this earlier in the year about the expanded form. So when I talk about the number 16 and I want to write it in expanded form, I'm looking at the place value. So when I look at the 1, for example, that's in the tens place. So 110 would just be 10. And then the 6 is in the ones place. And so that would be just 6. So to write 16 in expanded form is 10 plus 6. And what we do is we take this form, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a rectangle. And then we're going to write the expanded form on the top. So 10 plus 6. So we're representing 16 right now. Wherever I see my plus sign, I'm going to draw a line. Now, it's 16 times 3. 3 is my other factor. In expanded form, it would just be 3 because it's 3 ones. And I'm going to write that out to the side. Oops, sorry about that. Let's write that better. There's 3. Notice there's no plus sign, so there's no line. So we're done. So the next thing we have to do is multiply. So to figure out what I multiply in this box, I'm going to multiply what's above it and to the side. So for this particular box, where they meet, 10 times 3. So 10 times 3, so 10, 20, 30 is 30. Now for this box, what's above it is 6, and then what's to the side of it is 3. So 6 times 3. So think of your 6's. 6, 12, 18. 6 times 3 is 18. So that's kind of our first step. Now our last step is to add 30 plus 18. 0 plus 8 is 8. 3 plus 1 is 4. So when the products are 16 times 3, or excuse me, when the factors are 16 times 3, the product is 48. That's our answer. That's the product. Okay, so let's do another example together. Let's multiply 21 times 3. Okay. All right, so the first thing we have to do is write in expanded form. So 21. If I take 21, there's a 2 in the tens place right here. So 2 tens, 10, 20 would be 20 plus, there's just a 1 in the ones place. So that's 1. So the expanded form of 21 is 20 plus 1. So I draw my rectangle and I write 20 plus 1. Put a line where my plus sign is. Now it's 21 times 3. If I want to take 3 and write it in expanded form, it's just 3. It doesn't expand out any further. So now we're ready to multiply. So for this box, I multiply what's above it and what's to the side of it. So 20 times 3. Now, to multiply 20 times 3, kind of a shortcut way is to multiply your non-zero numbers. 2 times 3, so 2, 4, 6. I have 1 0, so I add a 0 to the end. Now this box, what's above it is 1. What's to the side of it, so it's kind of where they match up. 1 times 3 is 3. And then my next step is to add that 60 plus 3. Notice the 3 is in the ones place, so my 0 and my 3 are lined up. So 0 plus 3 is 3, and then 6 plus, there's really a 0 here, is 63. So 21 times 3 is 63. So we start to see how kind of the area model works. Let me grab another piece of paper. Now, get your paper out and let's practice. Let's do 34 times 6. All right, pause your computer, pause the video, and take a minute and write that in expanded form. All right, hopefully you did that now. 34 in expanded form, there's 3 tens. So 3 tens would do 10, 20, 30. Plus 4 ones. So that's just 30 plus 4. Okay, now draw your rectangle. We're going to write our expanded form on top of the rectangle. Think about, where do we draw the line? We draw the line where the plus sign is. Okay, our other factor was 6. So 6 goes out to the side. All right, so now we have to decide what goes inside our box. It goes what's above it and to the side. So above it is 30. 6 is to the side. So in that first box is 30 times 6. Now remember our shortcut, multiply the non-zero numbers, 3 and 6. So 3, 6, 9, you know the rest, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So there's our 18. We have 1 0, so add a 0. So 30 times 6 is a 180. Now, here's the next box. 4 goes on top, times 6, which is out to the side, 4 times 6. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So 4 times 6 is 24. What's our next step? You got it, we got to add it. 180 plus 24. Now notice, the 0 and the 4 are lined up because those are both in the ones place. The 8 and the 2 are lined up because they're both in the tens place. So 0 plus 4 is 4. 8 plus 2, that's 10, so we carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 34 times 6 equals 204. All right, you getting the hang of it now, hopefully? All right, here's one last one. We're going to do 25 times 5. All right, first step, break it down in expanded form. 25 is my only number that can be broken down in expanded form. There's 2 tens, so that's 20. 10, 20, plus 5 in the ones place. So 20 plus 5, that's the expanded form of 25. Draw your rectangle. Doesn't have to be a perfect rectangle, but as best as you can. Write that expanded form on top. Draw your line. Now my other factor was 5, so that goes out to the side. All right, you multiply what's above it and to the side of it. So 20 times 5. Now multiply 2 times 5. And then there's 1 0, so be sure and add that 0. 20 times 5 is 100. Now this box, 5 is on top and 5 is to the side. 5 times 5 is 25. Last step is to add it. So take a minute and add 100 plus 25. Make sure your numbers are lined up. The 5 is under the 0 and the 2 is under this other 0 in the tens place. So 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 2 is 2. And 1, and there's really a 0 there in the hundreds place, is 1. So 25 times 5 equals 125. Okay, so that's kind of an introduction to the area model. In the next video, we're going to learn kind of the standard form. Students should be able to recognize both of them and be able to do them well. This is probably one of my favorites, though, especially as they get into bigger numbers and larger numbers. So now what you need to do, now that you've kind of got the hang of it, go to your Google Classroom and go to week 1, area model practice. There's a Google assignment there where you will type in different numbers for the factors and multiply and find your product, and just a little more practice with the area model. I hope this helps. See you later. Bye-bye.